All right, so I want to talk to you about some of the things and some of the tools and techniques, what it takes in order to be a good R&B player, gospel player, neo soul. It doesn't matter whatever level you are, if you're a beginner or if you're advanced. I want to talk to you about some of the tools and the techniques in order to get better, what you need to focus on. The first thing that I tell everybody, you need to have a good grasp of the number system. So we're going to go through the key of G. I'm going to kind of give you a brief overview. So we're going to go over G major scale. So that first note in the scale is always our 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8 and 1 are the same. They're just octaves. So it's really important that you start to learn that as your foundational base, because what it is that is a universal language that you can use. I'll give you a prime example. I was in France, could not speak French, did not really fully understand the language, but I was able to use a number system in order to kind of navigate through the song once I learned what key it was in. So you want to have a good grasp of the number system. So 1 is always a major chord, 2 is always a minor chord, 3 is always a minor, 4 is a major, 5 is a major, 6 is a minor, 7 is a minor, and then back to your 1. 7 can be minor, it can be major. Just depends on however is using that song. But those are some of the general rules of thumb. Having a good grasp and understanding the concepts of the number system, regardless if you're a beginner or if you're intermediate or advanced, you want to have a good concept of the number system, because again, that stuff is imperative. It's a universal language that you can be used anytime when you're playing at church. I've seen plenty of keyboard players kind of facilitate what the keys or what notes are coming next with the number system to the band. So that stuff is extremely important. One thing that you have to be mindful of too is knowing your chords. You can't get past knowing your chords, because chords is how you give the meat of the song, how you tell the song. You can play the melody all the day, but without the actual chords in the song, that is really imperative. So we're going to talk about some minor chords and some major chords. So just a brief snapshot, a minor chord is a D minor 7. So let's do D minor 7, which is more of your kind of sad tone. And then we're going to do a major 7, which is a D major 7, more of your happier chord. So happy chord, sad chord. You can hear the difference. Down to C, we can do major 7, minor 7, G, major 7, minor 7. So again, just as a general rule of thumb, like knowing your chords, your major, your chords and your minor chords. Now there's a whole bunch of different kind of chords, but there's a lot of stuff that you really need to know as far as playing your different kind of chords, because without the chords and having a good vast knowledge of your neck board, you're not going to be able to, of your neck and your fretboard, you're not going to be able to really facilitate and maneuver the music like you want to, because you're going to be fixated on playing limited things. Also too, you cannot forget the rhythm, and that means your timing's got to be on point. So if you're playing a song, let's say like What's Going On, that rhythm of knowing what chords come next, like all that rhythm within the chords, because again, that's what's going to sell the song. If I don't play it within time or whatever, you're not going to know what song I play. So if I started out like, I'm all over the place. So it's really important to know about your timing, so you know when to transition between your chords. So again, a brief overview, knowing the number system, so that way you know essentially what number is associated with chord. Knowing that which chords are major, which chords are minor. It's really important, because again, it's a universal language. Also having a good grasp of what kind of chords, major chords and minor chords, knowing what that sounds like tonally. Again, those aren't all the chords, but it's just a good brief snapshot of what you got to get into, and then also working on your timing. Those are things that are important to learning those things as a guitar player. Now, out of these 3 areas, which ones are you the strongest in and which one are you the weakest in? I really want to know what areas you're strong and you're weak in. So you can leave a comment below, because I really want to help you really dive into those different areas. So I've created this online community called Kerry's Camp. You can click the link above and it'll take you directly there. But let me give you a snapshot of what that's about. So Kerry's Camp is an online extensive guitar community that really takes you from day one. If you've never seen a guitar, you don't know what to do, how to play a guitar, how to tune a guitar, really know all the fundamental tools in order to really unlock your full potential on the fretboard. I know what it feels like to feel restricted and not be able to play to your full potential. And that's what I created Kerry's Camp, because again, I want to give you the tools that you can play those melodies that you hear in your heart, in your head. You can play them exactly how you want on the fretboard. So it's really important. Like I said, again, if you want to know where to go, click that link above and it'll take you directly there. And as I continue to wrap up, I just want to go over everything that I talked about. So we talked about 3 specific areas: the number system, learning chords, and also playing with rhythm and playing it within time. Those are some of the 3 foundational pieces, plus there's a lot more other things, but I just want to give you a snapshot of the things that you can expect to see and even more in Kerry's Camp.